Hello, friends. My name is Evan B. Howard, and I'm the author of Deep and Wide Reflections on Socio-Political Engagement, Monasticism, and the Christian Life. In this third video in our series, I will introduce the second chapter, We Are Political People. One thing that I realized in working on this book was just how much politics is a part of our everyday life, whether we notice it or not. For example, I live out here in the country. Recently, the state of Colorado voted to reintroduce wolves in the wilderness area, right across the street from our ranch. I saw one once, a stone's throw away from me. Deer and elk populate our property, animals whose numbers are controlled by hunting regulations. Logging permits, water rights, fencing laws shape every aspect of our life here. And those are only the formal regulations. We ranchers, hunters, and recreational pleasure seekers also have a much larger set of less formal, but equally as important, agreements about how to get along. I could bore you with plateau politics for a long time. The point is this: no matter how we might like to, we simply can't escape politics. We are political people. I begin this chapter with a couple of stories. One about the 7th century missionary monk Columbanus, and another about my daughter Claire. Now, what you see in both of these stories is that while sometimes we choose into socio-political engagement, for example when we vote, and in other times we are unavoidably thrown into socio-political involvement, for example when we are pulled over for driving while black, often we just fall into politics in the course of just trying to please God and love others. Columbanus, in the course of founding ministries in France, and my daughter Claire, in the course of her community sharing pancake breakfasts with their houseless friends, found themselves unintentionally embroiled in political affairs. That's the way it happens. And that is the first point of the chapter. We can't escape politics. It's the way God made things. It's how we interact with the world. It's where we find ourselves. Now, some people will complain about politics or warn Christians that the world of politics is all about sin, either the sin of the criminal or the sin of the system. But as you'll discover in this chapter, and throughout the whole book really, I take a different view. I believe God put human beings on earth to facilitate a God-glorifying order to creation. I welcome the art of politics. This then brings us to the second point of the chapter. Politics is more than statecraft. Here is where I define politics. Many people think about politics as simply a government affair. Laws, elections, things like that. I again choose to take a broader view. To me, neighborhood crime watches, cooperatively owned housing projects, labor unions, all of these are political activities. To me, when we take steps to influence the common ordering of our life together, we are stepping into socio-political engagement. Now, the third point of the chapter is this: that socio-political engagement necessarily demands changes within and changes without. You see, already we're beginning to see that the deep and the wide are actually connected. At 2 points in this chapter, we explore this with our first monastic practice, political self-examination. Nuns and monks have practiced self-examination for centuries. In this practice, I show you how to use self-examination, inner, to recognize and spiritually identify with the politics, the wide surrounding your own life. Okay, now, having gained a sense of the world of monasticism and the presence of politics, you're ready in the following chapters to explore the means of socio-political engagement: speaking, caring, modeling, acting, and praying. And with that, we turn to our next chapter and our next video.